Hi, I would like to share with you the scripture from the book of 2 Samuel. It's about another woman named Tamar. In fact, there's three women in scripture whose name is Tamar, and this second Tamar, like the first Tamar, was involved in a sexual incident. However, unlike the first Tamar, this Tamar right here is completely innocent, and none of what happened to her was her fault. And we're going to start in, we're going to read this from chapter 13, starting with verse 1. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin, and Amnon thought it for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemaiah, David's brother, and Jonadab was a very subtle man. And he said unto him, Why are you, the king's son, day lean from day to day? Will you not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, lay you down on your bed, and make yourself sick, and when your father comes to see you, say unto him, I pray you, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. So Amnon lay down and made himself sick, and when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray you let Tamar my sister come, and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat it at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, Go now to your brother Amnon's house and dress him meat. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour and kneaded and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, Have out all the men from me. And they went out every man from him. And Amnon said unto Tamar, Bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of your hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber of Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, Come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not you this folly. And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for you, you shall be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore I pray you, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from you. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. And then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, Arise, be gone. And she said unto him, There is no cause. This evil and send me away is greater than the other that ye did unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him, and said, Put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. And she had a garment of divers colors upon her, for with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled. Then his servant brought her out, and bolted the door after her. And Tamar put ashes on her head, and rent her garment of divers colors that was on her, and laid her hand on her head, and went on crying. And Absalom her brother said unto her, Has Amnon your brother been with you? But hold now your peace, my sister. He is your brother, regard not this thing. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house. But when King David heard of all these things, he was very wroth. And Absalom spoke unto his brother Amnon neither good nor bad, for Absalom hated Amnon, because he had forced his sister Tamar. And it came to pass after 2 full years, that Absalom had sheep shears in Baal Hazor, which is beside Ephraim, and Absalom invited all the king's sons, and Absalom came to the king and he said, Behold, now your servant has sheep shearers. Let the king, I beseech you, and his servants go with your servant. And the king said to Absalom, Nay, my son, let us not all go, lest we be chargeable unto you. And he pressed him, howbeit he would not go, but he blessed him. Then said Absalom, If not, I pray you, let my brother Amnon go with us. And the king said unto him, Why should he go with you? But Absalom pressed him that he let Amnon and all the king's sons go with him. Now Absalom had commanded his servants, saying, Mark you now, when Amnon's heart is merry with wine, and when I say unto you, Smite Amnon and then kill him, fear not, have I not commanded you? Be courageous and be valiant. And the servants of Absalom did unto Amnon as Absalom had commanded. Then all the king's sons arose, and every man got him up upon his mule and fled. And it came to pass, while they were in the way, that tidings came to David, saying, Absalom has slain all the king's sons, and there is not one of them left. Then the king arose and tore his garments and lay on the earth, and all his servants stood by with their clothes rent. And Jonadab, the son of Shemaiah, David's brother, answered and said, Let not my lord suppose that they have slain all the young men, the king's sons, for Amnon only is dead. For by the appointment of Absalom, this thing has been determined from the day that he forced his sister Tamar. Now therefore not let my lord the king take the thing to his heart, to think that all the king's sons are dead, for Amnon only is dead. But Absalom fled, and the young man that kept the watch lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there came much people by the way of the hill side behind him. And Jonadab said unto the king, Behold, the king's sons come, as your servant said, so it is. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end of speaking, that behold, the king's sons came and lifted up their voice and wept, and the king also, and all his servants wept very sore. But Absalom fled and went to Talmai, the son of Ammihud, the king of Geshur, and David mourned for his son every day. So Absalom fled and went to Geshur and was there for 3 years. And the soul of King David longed to go forth unto Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Amnon, seeing that he was dead. Now, those scriptures right there are talking about Amnon. I mean, how he wanted to be with, I mean, be with sister Tamar, whom he loved, and he plotted the situation, have his, his sister visit him, bake some food for him, and go into his bedroom to feed him. I mean, and he ba- ba- and when he was alone with her, he basically took her and forced himself on her, and he violated her, and that that made that made their father David very angry, and also Absalom, Tamar's brother, was angry because his half brother Amnon had done this evil thing, and he ended up plotting to kill his brother, and so he got him alone at a private party out by the sheep shearers, and Absalom had his men slay Amnon with the king's other sons present, and they basically fled, and David got false news that all his sons are dead, but and Jonadab, Amnon's friend, told David the truth that only Amnon is dead because of what he did of what he did to Tamar, and out of the whole thing we have a sister defiled and forever ruined a brother who is dead, and another brother who's in exile. And things are only going to get worse from there. I mean, if you continue to read through Second Samuel, and anyway, no, none of what happened to Tamar was her fault. I mean, it was basically her brother who was so infatuated with her half brother. I mean, and she she ended up paying the price of living alone in her brother Absalom's house, unmarried, and her name was passed on to Absalom's daughter, and as as an as an act of honor, to well to honor her. I mean, anyway, that's pretty much all I really have to share with you this morning. So have a good day, and God bless you.